morning. So here I am in another pasture filling up another water trough. Just came from Troubadour, Indy. And this is Chief. He is a little Virginia Range Mustang who came from the Virginia City area. And he's checking me out while I'm sitting in here. Again, I like to just come spend undemanding time with all of these guys. He's not ready to be haltered. I play with him with a rope, a little string, training string, to see if we can get it around his neck. We've gotten a little bit. That's the beginning of my first haltering, is a little string that we get used to having them swing around their body. He is still fairly wild. I can pet him all over his body except for down his legs. I can get down his front legs before he gets worried. I love to play with his mane. We try and keep it sticker free, and his beautiful forelock. He lets me do that while he eats. Behind him is Saturday. She's a pretty sweet mare. She's from the McDermott Paiute Reservation. She was rescued from the auction with her baby back in 2014. A friend of mine has her baby. She can be haltered. I can rub her all over. I can put fly spray on her. And Chief, you're so funny. Behind me is Miss Asha. She can be haltered and led around the property. I can't take her very far because Apache, don't bite me. Apache, who is over there, he's my most wildest horse I have on the property, and he will jump these fences if she goes too far. So one of my dreams is someday, hopefully, our nonprofit will be able to raise enough money that we can put a better training facility down here, a gentling pen, a round pen, and arena, so that I can work with these two without having to take them too far away from each other so he doesn't jump the fence. Because once he learns how to jump the fence, he's going to keep jumping the fences. That's one of the reasons I have so much hot wire here. Also because this one, Mr. Chiefer Deefer, will fight with Apache through the fence over their girls. So that's a dream one day to have. I'd like to cut this big pasture in half so I could get a couple more horses out here if I ever needed to, but also to put an arena down there with a round pen and a gentling pen instead of cutting this in half. Either or. That's on the wish list for the nonprofit. Here comes Apache. Hi, big boy. He is the father of Perone, which you see off in the distance. And he's coming around. I've had him here on this property for 6 years. All 4 of these guys have been here for 6 years. Never have had to trim their feet because the terrain is pretty rocky and it keeps their feet worn down very nicely. This is a Mustang who hasn't had his feet trimmed for over 6 years. And you can't see Apache's because he's standing in the dirt and the poop. But he has finally started letting me rub him all over his face and down each side of his neck. And today I rubbed down his front leg and he did not like that at all. I can rub down his back. He's a pretty funny little wild guy. The reason he got removed off the range was because he was jumping over fences or going through fences like this. So he is my most wildest. He still thinks he's a little stallion, but I love him dearly, and he and I have some amazing experiences that we went through together. He taught me what I'm really made of. He taught me about how much strength and courage I actually have inside that I don't think I ever would have found without me and him learning about each other at the 650-acre sanctuary that I used to manage 130 wild Mustangs on, and these 2 were some of those Mustangs. But I'm writing a book about Mustang stories, and he and I will share our stories in that book someday. But yes, this little Mustang taught me what it is to be courageous and to make up your mind and stick to it, even in the face of fear, to trust another being, even when you are a wild Mustang. Taught me about the power of intuitive communication, and so much more. So stay tuned for that book. Someday I'm going to get it written. But here's my little friend Chief. I just love this Mustang because he is so curious and he's so playful. And again, the only way I could get him up to my training barn is to build a portable pen and run him in the trailer. And he and I have trailered this Mustang 3 different times, and each time it's pretty traumatic for him to be driven up into the trailer and pretty dangerous for me. I won't let anybody else do it because I understand this Mustang, but he will go over the top of you rather than try and go into that trailer. So he's ready to be gentled, but I have him out on probably an acre here with Miss Saturday. And so trying to gentle him out here is nearly impossible. Again, that's why someday I hope I can raise the funds to build my training facility down here so I don't have to traumatize these 2 wild boys to get them up into a trailer, to be able to get them up to the training facility and get them started. They're ready. He's more ready than Apache is. But again, I can't do it out on this big open acre pasture with if I were to get a rope on him and he were to spook, because that rope would be, if he were to spook and get away from me, he would be pulling a rope around in this pasture. And as you can see, our pastures are barbed wire because that's all we could afford at the time. And he could run himself right into this barbed wire fencing. So we're never going to do anything that's going to put these guys at jeopardy. But he's ready, and he would be a lot of fun. And again, he is a great equine-assisted partner in teaching people about self-exploration and self-development and playfulness, and being able to take a curious being who's still wild, and how do you get them to trust you and focus on you and to do things with you when all they really want to do is be a little mischievous and have a little bit of fun. Like right now, he just unsnapped my pants and now he's chewing on my pants. So how do you corporate management teams get a worker that has this kind of a personality, wild and playful at heart, to join the team and be a protective member of your corporation? Just a little tidbit of the things that these wild ones can help us learn about. I've also used these 2 and those 2, Asha, hi baby girl, and Apache, with youths. With a group of youths, and working together, and communication and boundaries and problem solving. What we did was they had to move these 2. Troubadour says it's dinner time. They had to move these 2 all the way down to the far end of the pasture by weaving them through the sagebrush, and then they had to bring them back. But they couldn't make them run. They had to keep their energy low, and they had to work as a team without making these horses run. So guys, little bit of what we do here at Heart Soul Confidence-Based Horsemanship, as well as Heart Soul Horses Helping Humans nonprofit. We are a nonprofit rescue, kind of like a sanctuary little facility here. We do multiple things here, and thank you so much for tuning in and letting Saturday and Indy and Troubadour and Handsome Harry, our Mustang ambassador. We travel around educating people about Mustangs and horses. Thank you for sharing, taking the time to let us share our story with you. For now, I gotta get my water that's overflowing. So everybody take care. Be well.